1, 2. Hmm. No, nice. Okay, so you can hear me, and there is about a 5 to 10 second delay. Am I live? Oh, I am actually live. Oh, brilliant. That is super useful. I didn't realise that I was just getting randomly pushed live. Good job, YouTube. One moment, please. Hello and welcome to this live stream. I don't know if the audio is working and I can't see the chat at the moment because I'm down to one screen while I'm here on the tech bench. But hello, let's jump straight on over to this setup so I can actually see what's going on and hopefully everything's aligned and in place. So now that's out of the way, I can move over to our actual stream and see what's going on. Unfortunately, for some reason YouTube just decided to start the live stream as soon as I turned my stream onto it instead of, you know, hitting the go live button. Weird. Anyway, hello, welcome. I'm going to take my headphones off now because I sound like a total knobhead when listening to myself talk through them. Oh, sound is good. Oh, I think that's the first time in a while that I've actually started a stream and the sound's been alright. Yes, cracking, right. So, I just have some odds and sods to be getting on with really, and I thought I might as well set up the camera so we can all have a chat. I can see the live chat now, so feel free to chat away and I'll try and answer some questions. Well, there's a whole 8 of you tuned in to see me sitting in the semi-darkness here. Right, so first things first, I've got to do a bit of work on this, which you may recognise as the DIY SSG project. I have been very lucky to be able to get some range time in with it during the current lockdown, and unfortunately I was testing it and it was rather cold and the bolt slipped out of my hand as I was cocking it and well, snapped the safety off, which is no big deal. It's not really an essential part and the rifle still works, but I'm going to glue it back on so so we can keep using it. Where's the Bernie mitts? Oh, that is a good question. Would you be able to tech in the Bernie mitts? So, here, I have a beanie hat here. I can try and do it, and I don't think this is going to work all that well, unfortunately. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to stick to bare hands at the moment. Actually, let's put that over there. Also, side note, we may get interrupted by cats. One of my cats particularly likes to sniff the camera lens, so you may get cat here, and if so, I will point it out. But yes, hello from Denmark. Wow. Oh, sweet. I've got international viewers. Excellent. This is that's good to hear. Welcome to the channel. Crystal 20 Delight. That's an interesting username. I'm content with that. Excellent. Yes, the folding stock version, I actually quite like it, and yeah, there is a bit of wobble in it, but to be honest, I'm pretty happy with it for the price I paid. Obviously, if you watch the first part of the project video on this, the performance isn't the best, but I have made it better, so there is a new video coming soon. I just need to finish editing it. With not much work, this has got better. But anyway, let's enough of me blabbering on, let's crack on. So, first things first, let's take off the scope. Northeast End gas blowback. Yes, I really want one, but they are very expensive. But I do want one of the suppressed versions. However, I do know that at least one of the members of the chat has had some negative experience with, I believe it was a probably pre-production sample. How much would it be for an L85A3 from the G&G kit from you? Okay, so I don't actually have pricing in place yet to do conversions, full conversions. Are you saying, so this is for VS1, are you saying you want everything, as in you don't even have the rifle, base rifle, which I could probably sort out? It would probably be about £1,000. Actually, no, that was my rough estimate for if I was going to get scoped and everything. If you just wanted the rifle and the rail, what are they, 350, 400, 600? You're looking at the kind of 650, 700 quid to do, like, if you want it to end up. If you want it to end up looking like this, yeah, you're going to be looking at like 600, 700 quid. If you're wanting just the black rail put on, that's going to be a bit cheaper actually. But I still need to figure out prices because I need to figure out how much everything costs. But if you want to buy it, install it yourself, rifles go from 350 to 400 quid. The rail is 250 quid. And it's an hour or so of work, and you need some punches. Yeah, okay, so as Tom from AATV said, it was pre-production and it had leaky mags, but I'm pretty sure they've sorted that now. Oh, Alan's joined us. Alan has been advising me on building sniper rifles, because this is the first one I've actually worked on, whereas he is somewhat the master, and I do at some point have to test out his TDC mod, which he has been working on, because he's recently got a 3D printer, and actually that's the buzzing you can hear. I'm currently producing as many of these as possible. These are SLR/Sterling bayonets. Put that to one side. Did I send the WeTech Browning pistol back to the shop? No, I did not, because even though it doesn't work particularly well, it is a holster filler, and I need a high power to go with my British kit. That being said, I 3D printed a replacement hammer knocker and a replacement valve knocker, and it actually worked. I think I just need to give it a clean and a bit of a grease up, because, well, also I was trying to play in like -1 temperatures with it, and it would cycle once and then vent. I think I did get a kill with it though, so it's not all that bad. Just making sure I'm not missing out comments. Oh yeah, the Mark V, the Mark V Sten. Ooh, that is quite nice. Although I already have kind of I already have a loud and noisy British submachine gun here, complete with prototype bayonet. Turn you off. So, Alan, you still printing your TDC hops, or have you moved on to something else? Yeah, I should probably get that out first. So black rail, I have the A1, but the rail and the others. Okay, so if you wanted to go black rail, the rail itself is 250. So you wouldn't need it painted. So 250, and then the rifle is anywhere between 350 and 400, depending on where you look. So you're looking at 600 to 650 to just get the parts, and then either you can fit them yourself, takes about an hour to do first time round, or I probably could sort it for you. What's in my cup? Bollocks! I don't have a drink on me, so I may have to run off and get a drink, because I was a bit taken back by YouTube, you know, starting my stream without me telling it to. And I forgot to go get my drink. But yes, I will get a drink, and it will probably be a coffee or a Pepsi. Or both. So, here is item number 1 for today's consideration. This is the trigger box out of the Cymer. All in all, I'm actually quite happy with the trigger box, but notice here it seems to be lacking a safety, which is here. So what happened was bolt slipped out my hand, bolt handle went down as it slipped out of my fingers, came forwards, smashed the back of the safety and just sheared it off, because the safety is a cast piece. It's going to happen. Also, the temperatures probably didn't help all too much with that. Onto high kappa compensators. Great wall display. Yes. Welcome to my wall display. It changes colour and everything if I want it to. Currently got the British theme going. I do have other rifles I can put up. Predicting a Pepsi Max. Oh, how did you know? What's the most expensive and most time I put into one of my IL-85s? It's a good question. My G&G has been through a lot. That basically, that was the third rifle I had, and it became my kind of teching base point because I bought an LSW first because it was the only L85 they had in the shop. Actually, it was rather stupid. I had a choice between a G&G AFV or the L86, and I bought the L86. Hindsight, I probably should have bought the AFV because those are so good. And then the L85 was the first kind of standard-ish rifle I bought that could have lots of upgrades done, so I just started tinkering with that, and I've done loads. And after 5 years, it's gone pretty much back to stock, minus a new motor, because minus the MOSFET I put in it, which is a MERF 3.2, and it's been through a couple of motors because of the active braking, and I run it pretty much exclusively in semi. But yeah, it's got stock barrel at the moment. It's got a G&G green hop rubber. I changed out the nozzle because I thought the nozzle was broken, but it turns out no. When I lost the tappet plate spring at one point and replaced it with a random. Oh, I'll zoom out. Replaced it with a random tappet plate string, which was too weak. So then I tried to change the nozzle, because thinking that was the issue. It wasn't. But yeah, other than random little bits, it's pretty much stock, minus the MOSFET, and I still love it. But yeah, lots of money's been sunk on that. The most amount of time I spent working on a rifle is probably going to be the King Arms. That's been upgraded quite a lot. It was my DMR platform. I've now taken it down back below 350, so I can point blank charge people with the bayonet. Which yeah, there's a lot going on in that. And then externals, I've spent probably more on externals than I have on internals because it's got real furniture on it and a real suit sight, which are not cheap. But yes. Right. Yes, charging handle did smack the safety, snap it off. Very, very nice. Would I ever do a modern British Army loadout? Yes, I would. I need to track down stuff. I've got a lot of kits I need to build up. Basically, I tend to spend all of my time doing gun stuff and not kit stuff. So I'm pretty behind the times. I do have MTP kit. Actually, some of that's currently on a display at work. Should probably get that back at some point. But yeah, I actually really like running 58 pattern webbing, and it works for all my rifles. The pockets are big enough to fit Stanag mags in or fit AK mags in. Probably could fit P90 mags. Kind of wish I hadn't sold my P90 now. Can't wait to be back at Gunman. Oh yeah, I'll be up at Gunman. Seeing as I only live 5 minutes away from Tuddenham, and I'm up there most weekends. I'm one of the volunteer kind of in-game marshals now, so we've talked about this before on AATV's channel. It's less of marshalling at that point and more you're just there to help the game flow. But yeah, I will be back up at Tuddenham as soon as we can be back up at Tuddenham. You've painted your dark grey. Yes, I've been planning renovation work in here because, well, all of the house is very neutral, recently bought house. So everything's kind of magnolia. What I will be doing is hopefully that wall behind me will be going a dark grey, and I'll paint the boards accordingly to match. And I'll probably change out the carpet because I much prefer hardwood. But yeah, that's a bit beside the point. Right. So what I've done, taken the broken parts of the safety off, I'm just going to put these screws back in so we don't lose them. So what's everyone been up to in this lockdown? Have you all felt motivated to do stuff, or have you just kind of not? Because I know I found just doing anything pretty hard at the moment. I've just mainly slobbed around, played video games, and watched The Office again. Finally getting some energy to do some video work. Right, let's catch up. What's the first upgrades you are putting into the L96? The first upgrades I have put in, I've already done some of it, is nothing, just some work. I have re-greased everything, cleaned and re-greased stuff, put a bit of Teflon tape around some threads and around the hop rubber, and stabilised the inner barrel using Lecky tape. So the next video coming out, which hopefully will come out at some point this week, I just need to edit it, is 3 mods basically. However, at the end of this video coming, I'm little kind of, not behind the scenes, advance notice. It's doing alright, but it could be better. However, the Cyma is completely off spec from everything else. So everything's a bit bigger. The cylinder is a bit bigger. So I bought in advance. I bought a. Oh wait, no. This is a well cylinder. I have an Airsoft Pro cylinder and cylinder head. There's like nozzle, cylinder nozzle. They're currently sat in the well rifle I have. One of my mates actually has an L96, which I believe is a well made. He thinks it's well made. I think it's well made. But we know this is 100% APS2 compatible. Pretty much none of the parts on this are interchangeable with the Cyma, other than I think the trigger box. In fact, I will do a video in a bit comparing all the internals of this to that. But yes, the cylinder on the Cyma is bigger, the hop-up chamber on the Cyma is bigger in diameter, the barrel is effectively an AEG barrel that they've slightly changed to work. Even down to the bolt handle is different, because this is the kind of outer battery locking mechanism, which the Cyma doesn't have. Yeah, everything about it is different, but I feel like the externals and the trigger box especially on the Cyma is a lot better than on this. Well, a little hint there. But yeah, so I bought a load of upgrade parts, namely the Airsoft Pro cylinder you saw there, and then I was going to buy an Airsoft Pro hop chamber, so I could use the same barrel in it and see what that makes the difference of. But none of them will fit, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to think about and how to mod it. However, the next set of stuff that's going to be going in is going to be an Action Army chamber and a ZCI type bore. And this is the wrong one. Where's the other one? And I've already installed it because I was having a look at it. I've got one of the Maple Leaf MR hot rubbers. So this is the cheap and quick dirty R-hop, effectively. So we're going to put this lot into it at a later date and see how that varies the performance, because the free mods that I've done have improved the performance, but they haven't made it super amazing. Like, it is now a fairly decent skirmishable rifle, I think, in my opinion. But you guys will have to make your minds up when I put out the video later this week. Right, I've been rambling about that. Let's see what's going on. A lot of Osprey. Ooh, don't watch your videos on it. I probably already have, but I've forgotten them. So I'll more than happily relieve you of some Osprey parts if you are looking to get rid of them. Building most count at 6. Building up a Bundeswehr loadout. Oh, nice. Are you? What era Bundeswehr are you going for, Kenny? Are we going like, kind of Cold War era or more modern? That'll be interesting to see. Converted to Clapto ICS Galil to HPA. Yes, it has been great for catching up on hobbies, but sometimes I find that you just kind of run out of steam, especially when you're working from home and your workspace is also your hobby space, and then it just kind of all becomes one dull area. Right. Excuse me while I get some super glue. Gorilla Glue. Right. Mankey 70s and 80s British loadouts at the moment. Yes. Tom, you're on to a winner there. 70s and 80s British loadouts. Where's that? Yep, that's well. Good. Alan, thank you for confirming. Alan is my expert on L96s. Ooh, 80s Bundeswehr. Oh, that'll be good. So still G3 at that point. That'll be cool. And I have had people asking about doing G3 bayonets. I'd need a G3 myself to be able to design a G3 bayonet. Actually, I've had loads of requests for bayonets. So that's what I've been working on at the moment. I'll grab that. This is a bit overkill. This is one of the things I've been prototyping this week. That's a fully 3D printed SA80 bayonet that clips onto a rifle, but also a full 3D printed scabbard, complete with Airsoft safe saw. You know, just in case you need to safely airsoft cuts and stuff, and Airsoft safe wire cutter attachments. And there was also a bit that goes in there which has fallen out because the prototype, I put the wrong thread size in it. So next one will be mounted in. Anyway, enough talking about that. Right, what I said I was going to do first is super glue this back together. So that's not going to fit in shot. Maybe I'll go to my full selfie cam. I'm surprised there's 16, 17 of you watching at the moment. Like, why? Nothing impressive is going on. In fact, I haven't even started doing any tech work yet. Yeah, right. You can probably see that there. We got the little vise which I'm going to put the parts in and then move it out of the way for the rest of it. So that's enough of that. 5, that one. Cool. You should be able to also see the comments there, which is quite nice and handy. Oh, gas blowback G3. That sounds nice. Yeah, I was thinking about, you can print another safety, but it'd just be nice to have the metal one back on. So I'll try and glue it, and if it all goes wrong, I can just 3D print a new one. It's the great thing about 3D printing. Right. How long does Gorilla Glue take? 2 sets? A while. And this is why I got the vise ready. Have you missed anything? Yeah, I've just been blathering on for 30 minutes now, 20 minutes. Is it because this is set to private? Let me just make sure this is set to public. Yeah, it is set to public. Cool. And I've shared the link. The link should be shared. Okay. Do feel free, if you think this is interesting and other people would like it, do feel free to, you know, let people know that this is going on. I mean, this is going to be the highlight of Lockdown 3.0, the Ben gluing some parts together. There we go. I'm now going to try and clamp this in the vise. It's probably going to go horribly wrong, but, you know, let's see how it goes. Well, I thought Gorilla Glue would start sticking a lot quicker than this. So the next 2 hours of the stream is going to be me holding this part in place, apparently. Oh dear. Of all the parts to break, it has to be this part of this fiddly juncture. Right, screw the vise, it's going to get propped up over here. Okay, that's now setting. I'll leave it 15 minutes and hopefully that will set quite nicely. Now, on to the real fun stuff. I have one of the other Marshalls from Tuddenham's entire collection currently in my house, and all of them need to be converted. Also, sorry, all of his rifles and all of his batteries need to be converted to Deans. So we're going to get the soldering iron out, get the snips out, and try and not blow anything up. So, without further ado, one soldering iron. That's dangerously close to that part I just super glued. Can I move you somewhere safer? Yeah, I'll put you up on this table. Oh dear. This has all gone horribly wrong, everyone. Nope, this is just not sticking. There's any, like, Gorilla Glue should just stick. What is your problem? Well, it does say 6 metal, and this is Simacast part, so it's probably not metal. That's probably why it's not working. Ah, joy, jokes of Chinesium. Got the Siren MP5K to work on. Oh, that would be quite nice. My mate's desperately wanting an MP5K, but I think Simon have stopped making theirs. I don't know. Has anyone seen any for sale recently? Yeah, if only there was a monkey brand of glue, not Gorilla Glue. Right. You know what? I'm just going to put it in the vise. I really need 3 hands to do this. I'll put it on that. There you go. I really need 3 hands to do this, but 2 will have to suffice. Nah, it's not going to work. Alright, I'm just going to prop it up. Yes. 5, that one. Yeah, guys, if I'd actually planned this out, which I really hadn't, this was all a rush job, I would have set up a nice little jig, maybe 3D printed it to hold this all together. But, you know, some of the best teching in the world is done ad hoc, right? Yeah? That's what we say at work. Right, we're leaving that. Let's just get on with the batteries. Batteries. Get back over. Oh, a new one coming out soon. Excellent. I'll let them know. Right, soldering iron is hot. Well, warming up. Got some. Got a new solder cleaning station. Basically, it's just wire wool. Stab it in, cycle it round, clean it all out. So good. And here are the batteries. How many have we got? Oh, goody! Greased by Dean's. Okay, this is a fair old amount of batteries. And what looks to be some keyboard. Okay, I think we'll work on these 2 first and then come back to these. Ah yes, good old Vapex. Dented. My favourite. Okay, so this one looks like we've had some solder attempt before. It looks rescuable. Yeah, it's rescuable. So, do we all remember which way round we put Dean's connectors on batteries and rifles? Which one goes on which? I'll give you 20 seconds to decide, left or right. Which one goes on the rifle? Which one goes on the battery? You decide. While you're doing that, I'll get this boy up. JG do one, but their logo's painted on the side though. See, I'm really hoping Simon do one and do it with their new internals that are quite nice. Although, depending on how long the battery takes, we will be tearing down the Simon M16 because the trigger has stopped working. The best part is I wasn't using it at the time, Alice was, so I don't know if what went wrong, other than it's no longer working. So I'm hoping the switch got caught. Otherwise, we're going to have to replace the switch. Yes, you guys are right. Right should go to the battery because they're nice and sealed in there, so there's no chance of the battery getting shorted out. These go on the rifle because these are, in American terms of electronics, the cold end, i.e. when they're disconnected and exposed, they're not live. Unlike these are always going to be live because they're hooked up to the battery. So yeah, these will go on the battery. So let's give our soldering iron a good old clean. Ooh, nice and shiny. And now, next question. Where did I put my wire snips? Pliers, tweezers. Typical. The one bit I need is not here. No, because they were on the floor, because that's where I store my tools. Yes, now, next question. Please don't forget the heat shrink. Absolutely not. That's why there's tons of heat shrink in there. Do we cut one wire, two wires? What do we cut? And which one do we cut first if we're going to cut one? Give you a bit of countdown music. Do 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 do. Let's be. Mike, yeah, no one knew this was happening. I didn't really know this was happening until about 2 hours ago. Very much an impromptu one first. One wire, earth first. Now, most of the time I would agree with you, earthing first is good, but batteries we don't really earth because they're isolated systems. And on this one, I tend to do positive first because it's I find it a bit easier to solder negative on these than positive. To get the positive on out the way and then put the negative on. So, without further ado, let's trim the positive, and we're going to give them as much wire to work with as possible. Now this is where you get your wire strippers. Remember the separate tool, your wire strippers, and you're going to strip some of the heat shrink off using your wire strippers, definitely not your side snips. Thank you for falling over. Like that bit in Lethal Weapon. Yeah, apart from it's not hooked up to explosives. Now we're going to grab our solder, which I definitely prepped and got out. I got right there. It was staring me in the face. And we're going to tin the wire. Heat on. Make sure you can all see that. So, where does everyone want to play post lockdown? What's the kind of first site or first event you want to go to? Just thought I'd liven things up while we watch me solder to 7 batteries, and then I don't even know how many rifles. Many rifles. Heat on. This bit of solder, let's get a bit more on that. I hope I'm not blocking the camera here. I don't think I am. There you go. Throw out solder. Brillo. Come into this bag of components. Get a nice heat shrink out. Oh, that's a question. Where is my lighter? I have a feeling my lighter's downstairs, which I'm going to have to go look for. Which will give me time to go get a drink, so there may be a short interlude while I go get drinks. Pretty much anywhere where I can shoot at the public with just cause. That's a very weird way of saying any valid airsoft site, but okay. Red Mist. Oh, Red Mist. When is Red Mist? I should probably sign up for Red Mist. That's right up my street. Yeah, that joint can do with some more solder on it. Let's see if I can get my handy helper to hold it all in the way. Is it bad that I'm trying to talk my friends out of getting an Army Armaments L85? It depends. How confident are you / they are them at teching? Because the Army Armament's pretty good if you know what upgrades to do, which there are a few people who are considered gurus on making Army Armament L85s run rather well. Alan is known to do it. In fact, I believe Alan's Army Armament L85 is that one back there. Mark Courier, who is probably lurking somewhere in the chat or either dealing with kids, he's an expert and he can tell you all you want to do. Go check out his channel, Thin Brown Line, or Purple Helmet has got a lot of videos on it as well. So Army Armaments are pretty decent. They're solid externals, which you can also upgrade if you can find the real steel parts. And the internals are pretty decent. They just need some tweaking to get them to work well. Yeah. Right. What are we looking at? Skirmish Nottingham. Is that Nottingham or is that Skirmish Nottingham? Yeah, I need to come up and play other sites. Who's Purple Helmet? Oh, you wouldn't know him, Tommy. He used to make videos a while back, but he seems to have stopped. In fact, I don't know. He probably still uploads more frequently than old Airsoftology with his weekly Q&A sessions. Oh wait, hang on. Yeah, that's the thing. Army Armaments can be good if you know how to tech them, but if you don't, or you don't want to spend time teching them and just want a decent L85 out of the box, probably go with the G&G. The ICS is a decent rifle, but there are some shortcomings which they just haven't addressed, which is really annoying. Anyway, positive done. Let's get this negative. Ready to go. Cut. Oh, yeah. I know the feeling when you actually live close to an airsoft field, so it's not an absolute chore to actually go to a game day. I also know the feeling of living far away from an airsoft field and knowing the absolute chore of having to go to a game day. Oh, I hear. Oh, and a Eclair and a coffee. Look at this. Oh, to office service. Do you know where the light has gone? Is there a light down the living room?
Probably.
Can you have a look? Because my one's missing and I need it to do some heat shrinking. Cheers. Alice says hello, everyone. Although she's scurried away again. But yes, for those who are wondering what's in my cup, today it is a nice hot coffee, which is probably steaming up the camera. Yeah, loads of places have some L85 furniture at the moment, because I think all of the rear echelon L85s that were on green handguard are now going to be upgraded to DD rail, and then the ones that are allocated for frontline use are going to be upgraded to the A3 spec, which is interesting because the army's not rolling everyone over to A3. I mean, they haven't even properly finished the A3. All the current A3s on the market are prototype. So all the current Airsoft A3 kits on the market are all based on prototype designs, which is great. Oh, excellent! Look at that. Proper prime service. That. Thank you. You wanna come in and do it instead?
Try.
You know how to solder. Only on a little screen at the bottom.
Okay. Well, my face isn't in it.
You know how to solder, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Everyone, we're going to get our guest host in.
So rude.
Can you... That one needs tinning, and then solder those two together.
Yeah.
Everyone, I'm handing over to our guest host.
We shall see.
Alice is on the scene.
Okay, I feel very judged already. Oh, it's set up for your leftiness.
Yes, it's set up for my leftiness.
Oh, over there. Never date someone that's a lefty. It's weird.
Just on
Jesus.
all receivers. Yeah. So sorry off. So the current idea is the A3s are going to be like frontline issue, I think, and then the A2s are going to be rear echelon troops, and they're just going to switch out the green handguards to DD rails, and I don't know if they're going to upgrade from SUSAT to LDS or not on those, or if they're going to leave them as just SUSATs. Although they have been rolling out the HK A3 receiver for a while. That wasn't an official British Army A3. That was just HK marking the new receivers that had some upgrades done to them, but they were still the A2 rifle at that point, which is a bit confusing. So when people say the A3's been out for ages, it actually hasn't. But yeah, that's a side tidbit. How's that soldering going?
Getting a build-up of brown on it.
Yeah, this one has had an attempt to be soldered before, so we're just reusing it.
Yeah, it'd be better if you like scratched up the surface a bit with the scourer.
Well, why don't you?
We'll see how it goes.
Have I had a look at the Ares L85A3 lineup? Yes, I have. Not sure what the internals are like, but the battery goes in the pistol grip, so you're very limited on battery space.
Yay! Sorry.
Was HK owned by BAE at the time? HK was owned by BAE when they did the A2. HK was independent when they started playing around with upgrading the receivers and removing the receiver wobble. I don't think you need to tin both sides.
Oh, chill out.
Chill out. Okay. The Ares A3s, they look interesting, but they're not going to strip very easily like their A2s. There seems to be a lot of screws where there shouldn't be screws, and the rail is based off the very first prototype A3 rails, which had the big open holes at the top where the gas pistons are, which will very quickly change because squaddies got their hands burnt. Oh, be careful.
I know. Why are you telling me to be careful?
Because you almost touched your thumb with the soldering iron.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, so the Ares one is based off the very first prototype rail. Big holes at the top, which is where the gas piston is, and the squaddies testing it burnt their fingertips because they kind of held their fingers around slightly, put them in the hole. So they changed out the design later. What's up?
Look how bad a job I did. No one see this. I'll make it better. You can see how bad it is from the side. Can everyone see that?
Hang on.
No, don't zoom in on it. It's terrible. Is there a lag? A bit lag.
Yeah, there's about a 10-second lag between us doing stuff and it appearing on the live stream.
There you go.
Oh, here's a compliment. Marry that lass, what are you waiting for?
What?
Yeah.
Oh shit, there's no heat shrink on it.
Yeah, there is. I put it on before you.
Oh, thank God. Thank God. Sorry, I'm not taking it off. There you go.
Oh dear. Yeah, so believe it or not, Alice did electronic engineering at the same uni at me at the same time and got better grades than I did. So
Aww.
she's the smart one here.
Bless you. You don't have to say that.
Well, it's the truth.
Oh, bless.
Facts, not fiction. Oh, I should use that. That'd be a really good catchphrase for my channel.
Facts, not fiction.
Facts, not fiction.
But then when you say
Definitely not stolen from another channel.
But when you spout crap, then it's
Hey, I don't spout crap. What are you looking for? Right.
Oh, okay, I can't light a lighter.
Right. I'm just going to run to the loo quickly.
Okay.
So keep everyone entertained.
Oh, is this why?
Well,
how do I
also,
read things?
You can read. So here is what everyone's saying.
Yeah.
So everyone say hi to Alice in the chat if you're watching.
Oh God.
Wait, CZ might be buying Colt. I did not know that. But yeah, you can chat to people there. And why don't you tell them / show them what you bought for Christmas?
Oh, I thought this was a tech live stream.
This is a tech live stream, but hey, it's a general. It's tech and chill.
Hi everyone. Am I looking? Which camera am I supposed to be looking at? Oh, hi everyone.
And then if you click 3, it will go to a big picture of you.
I don't need to see that.
And then if you click 5, it'll come back to this one.
Okay. Cool. Thanks everyone for your patience.
Right, I'll be back.
I'm nearly done trying to make fire. Oh my gosh. Oh, if you put too much flame on it, goes black. Oops. I think that looks good. Not too bad. Okay, maybe a little bit more. I always overdo these things. But hopefully they don't come apart. Perfect. Maybe not perfect. Which camera am I supposed to be going to? This one? Where's the depth of focus? I don't know. I think it's focused. Yay! Anyway. Done. I'll be careful not to burn myself. Wire strippers. Ben doesn't have any wire strippers. What was he using? These? These are not good for wire strippers. Do not recommend. Especially if you're cat-handed like I am. Definitely buy some proper ones. And I think that's done. And I didn't burn myself at all. Though I've got black marks on my hands. And I'm going to say that's hopefully not me catching fire. Aldi, okay. We'll do that. I think there's an Aldi near us. You need some wire strippers.
No, I don't need wire strippers.
Did you cut any of the wires? Everyone's complaining. Did you do a bad job?
No, I did it.
Look! Like, you gotta come in camera. I don't know where the camera is.
Camera tip.
Have battery.
That is a battery.
Is this all your live stream was? Trimming some wires and heat shrinking?
Well, that's one battery of 7.
Oh.
And then I've got to do all of Will's rifles.
You guys have got a lot to look forward to.
And then I've got to fix the M16 you broke.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You doing that tonight?
That might do, depending on how long it goes on for. Probably not. That might be another stream.
1 minute. I will go and get what I bought quickly. And as a brief introduction to maybe another future video.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna shut the chat up a minute.
Where do I put this?
Oh, I found a lighter.
Where do I put this? Here?
Yeah, I guess
Is it
so.
in shot? I bought this cuteness.
You can slide it onto the table.
Wait, slide it on. 1 minute.
As in, move the soldering iron back to the normal position.
Oh, you can do it in the big picture. Oh, there you go. Where's the camera for that?
You can see it there.
There you go. Evo. Evo. Perfect. Anyway. Trimming wires and drinking coffee. That's literally your live stream.
That is my live stream, and apparently people enjoy it. What was I doing? I was going into this box.
If needed, I could do a review on the Evo. But...
That'd be cool. What do you think, guys? Would you prefer me to do the review on the Evo, or would you prefer Alice to do the review on it? I have here some wire strippers, and I'm going to put these away because I don't use wire strippers. No matter how much you heckle, I'm not going to use them. This is
just because you don't have good ones.
No, this is purely because my GCSE electronics teacher used to heckle us about it. If you can't strip a wire using side cutters, you shouldn't be soldering. That's what he used to say.
Sounds like a nice guy.
Yeah. You think Alice's perspective would be really interesting?
Okay.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, we're a bit basic, but I'll do it.
Yeah, we should do it.
Okay, I'm going to go eat my eclair because I left it on the side.
Yeah, you enjoy your eclair and I'll enjoy mine, while everyone else sits here and complains at me about not wire stripping wires.
Do some tech work.
No strippers, it's a Saturday though.
No
yes.
strippers, you say?
It says no strippers, it's a Saturday.
Plenty of hookers there.
Plenty. Jesus Christ. Oh dear. What colour is the Evo? It is the black. We had an argument. Well, we had a debate when she was buying it. So JD Airsoft had Christmas lead up to Christmas sales, and they had an Evos at like £100 off. So she snapped one up, and we had a debate about whether it should be black or the Battleship Grey. Eventually, we settled with black, or she settled with black. I was in the Battleship Grey camp because cool. I've not seen a Battleship Grey rifle before. Right, let's get that out of the way. So, battery 1 done. We're just going to make a pile over on the left of batteries. That's been done. Oh right, yeah. I'm going to put this one away. I promised, because they attempted to try and convert them themselves. I promised I wouldn't show that one. Let's crack on with the others in the tin. FDE is so 2020. Yeah, I'm not a fan of FDE rifles, he says, having an A3 behind him. I much prefer my black rifles. Although I have to admit, over the course of doing the A3 rail kit, the kind of RAL 8000 and FDE colours grew on me a bit, not 100%. I mean, if you want a brown looking rifle, use wood on it. It looks better. That's my totally unbiased opinion. So I hope you all enjoyed the guest appearance there. I keep trying to get Alice to do more content on the channel, and in fact, hopefully, if I pester her enough, she will release the behind the scenes footage she recorded. Dear. I didn't say I like tan rifles. I think the best way to describe my thoughts on tan rifles is how Jeremy Clarkson described motorcycles at the end of the Vietnam special, which was if his child said they bought a bike, he'd understand before burning the bike. I think that's my opinion on tan rifles. I think the only rifles I can kind of stomach in tan are probably the Scar and the ACR Bushmaster. like because those rifles were always in tan, and like because obviously they were designed during kind of like the Iraq Afghanistan war era, so they were like, oh well, it's mostly fighting in arid, dusty environments. Let's go for an arid, dusty looking rifle to start off with. I much prefer the look of a black rifle that has been adapted to be blending with the kind of deserty environment. Like, I've recently found out about Frontline Events games, and they've been posting up a lot of reference photos for some of their upcoming games, and these photos are from Iraq 1, which was not Granby. So American designation was Desert Storm. British designation was... Oh, someone's going to have to remind me. I cannot remember it off the top of my head. But yeah, seeing the the A1 A2, well actually it would have been A1, yeah, A1 L85's kind of just brown paint smeared down the sides and on the handguns and on the SUSATs. I think that's quite an interesting look. Not that I do it to any of my rifles. I like them too much how they are. Yeah, Ollie, you can stop sharpening your pitchforks and lighting your torches now. So what kit is everyone looking to buy in the near future, or really desperately wants to be released so they can get their hands on it? Because I know there's a couple that I want. Was it genuinely Magnolia house paint? Because if so, I could do that right now. I think we still have a pot of the stuff they used to redecorate this place before we moved in, sitting under the cupboard, under the stairs. The King Arms FN FAL re-release. I really, really hope that they have improved the internals because, well, improved the general build of it, because their SLR is fantastic. It is really well made. I really like it. It's got a lot of steel parts on it. Admittedly, the receiver pair isn't, but it isn't steel, but it's still well made. Compare that to their FAL series, and it's just a world of difference. I remember when I got mine, I looked up, there was a video probably 10 years ago now, someone comparing the two, the King Arms FAL and the SLR, and the SLR is so much better made, which is really weird. You would have thought that they could take most of the kind of castings they use and transfer them across, but hey, hopefully, seeing as it's been like 5 years since they've done it, they should be re-releasing them with some upgrades and they'll be better. Not saying that they're not good, it's just things like the selector would constantly break off because it was made of cheap metal. In fact, I 3D printed my own one, which was better. The front sight protectors, those are really brittle and break off. I broke one set straight away, and then I repaired it all, then lent it to a mate, and this is where the SAS SLR video came from. He broke the front sights, he lost a whole load of parts. He lost the rear sight somehow. That was quite impressive. Both the bolts that hold it in place were there, but the rear sight was not. But yes. Rusty Wright, recommend any AG getting started into Airsoft soon after lockdown. 150 what, pounds is that? Or is that dollars? Or whereabouts are you based? But I do have a little video from a live stream that Tom and I did. If you're looking to start Airsoft, don't buy kit straight away, because you may end up spending money on kit and you may come play a game and be like, actually this isn't what I expected, this isn't for me. I recommend finding out where your local site is, finding out if they do rentals. They should do rentals, and go and rent, because any half decent site should have half decent rentals, because hey, if your rental players have a good time, they're going to come back and spend more money. I give them a good gun, they'll come back, they'll do well. So you're in the UK, whereabouts? Because I'm sure we've got a good spread of people from across the UK in the chat at the moment. I'm sure people can help give you ideas where to go have a look. But yes, I recommend don't buy a rifle straight away. If you want to buy anything, make sure you've got good footwear and make sure you buy some decent Face Pro. But then again, rentals will come with Face Pro, but doesn't stop you going and buy your own stuff. Then, when you're actually at the site playing, all of us airsofters love showing off our kit. So ask people what they've got. Ask them if you can hold it and stuff. Obviously, COVID's a bit of a kind of limit on that, but you know, have a look at and see what different rifles there are and see if there's any you like the look of. And for 150 quid, you can get some pretty good entry rifles. So there's the G&G Raiders; those are pretty good. If you want an AK, have a look at the Cymer AKs. Those are really good for the price. There are a number of different bits and pieces. I'm trying to think of other decent entry price rifles. You could get one of the if you like the retro look, you could get one of the Cymer Air M16s. They're about around 150, probably a bit above it. But yeah, there are a few options available. But I highly recommend looking at what other people have, looking at what the rentals are, seeing what you like the feel of before buying, and also find out where your local store is and go to the local store to buy, because that way you can actually handle the rifles beforehand and see if you like the feel of it, and you can also if you have any issues with it, you can take it back and get warranty on it or get them to repair it. Which is something that's a bit harder to do if you order online. The other thing is while you're there, you can at least look and find things that are compatible with the rifle, whether it be sights or extra mags, or other accessories, or even your load bearing kit. Make sure it's compatible with the mags. That's something you can do if you go to a store in person, which you can't do online, unfortunately. So yeah, top tips are go play and rent first. Make sure you like the game. Then, while you're at site, have a look at what other people have, see what you like the look of, and then go to a store to buy or to test out kit. Because sometimes you'll go to the store going, I want to get this rifle, and you get there and you see another rifle that is completely different, and you go, ooh, that's quite cool. Do that. And oh yeah, as Alan says, don't just go buy an SSG rifle. But yeah, so that's it. I recommend don't try sniping as your first roll. Definitely just get an AEG and just go have some fun. Anyway, enough for answering that. Let me just make sure there's a lot of comments going on. Make sure I haven't missed anything. Oh, the PP2000. Yeah. Ooh, that'd be quite cool. I say be quite cool. It is quite cool. Effectively, the Russian equivalent of the kind of like MP7. I quite like the look of that. Fortunately, I don't really have much in the way of Russian loadout, so I don't know if I'd get one of those. I'm really looking forward to the S&T SMLE coming out. Although I'm more wanting a number 4, which apparently they're not going to do. And the SMLE, you could convert it to look kind of like a number 4, but there's so many changes between the two that it wouldn't be accurate enough. However, I'm still probably going to pick up the SMLE for a bit, even if it's just to look at it, review it, play with it once, and then get my mate to buy it off me. Because I know Ollie, who was in the chat, I don't know if he's still here, say hello if you are. I know Ollie will definitely be interested in an SMLE, seeing as he has and shoots regularly a real SMLE. What if we buy one at the same time? Wow, then you can have two and dual wield them. I don't know how you'd work the bolts doing that. What's the issue with the SSG? Well, the thing is with the SSG, it's, for all intents and purposes, it seems to be a pretty decent rifle out of the box. The issue is, and that's why I'm doing my series, is you can probably build it for cheaper if you want to, and would allow you to kind of understand what's going on with the rifle and at least know okay, this isn't doing this. This is probably because I've done this. Whereas the SSG, you're just getting a rifle out of the box. And I know Alan's pretty convinced that it is just a well rebranded, maybe with a different receiver on it. But yeah, there's a lot of thoughts about it, and I guess yeah, a lot of the people who actually play the sniper role spend a lot of time fine tuning their rifles as opposed to just buying them straight out of the box and using them. And I guess the issue is less with the rifle itself from Novrich, but more with the way Novrich says it is like the best rifle you can buy out of the box, and it's really not. It's not the best rifle you can get. Yeah. Making sure I'm catching up. Are they upgradable? So a lot of rifles, if you so Rusty, right? A lot of rifles, if you buy them, especially if they're kind of like AR based, so M4, M16 style, or AK based, will have Polar Star conversion kits. My question to you is why would you do that? I'm not a big fan of HPA. I think the only time HPA should be used is on mounted machine guns, either on vehicles or in a fixed position, but have a Daytona recoil kit in it, because then you have a big old rifle going clack, 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 and it just adds a bit to the immersion. Other than that, I don't really see the point in HPA kit lines and tanks and stuff in Airsoft, especially in the UK, because the whole point of Airsoft, well, our whole argument for having realistic looking rifles is the suspension of disbelief, which basically is a fancy way of saying, oh, if I'm in the middle of playing a game and I look over to my left and I look over to my right and there's dudes dressed up in army uniform coming over the hill with ARs, M4s, M16s, L85s, for a minute there you think you're in the middle of a war, not in the woods playing dress up, and when you do that and you see someone running around with a big diving tank on their back and a hose running into their gun, it kind of breaks that. But yeah, immersion, that is the thing. Arch, did I put it on Thingiverse? I think I might have put it on Thingiverse. Or, hang on, did I put it on Shapeways? If it's on my Shapeways store, let me have a look. Which one is it? Oh, I'll be on this one. Hang on, I set up for this. If I go to 6... Yeah, look at that. Shapeways, English, Kiwi. Oh, did I not put the selector on? Oh, my bad. Yeah, I will endeavour to either make you one or put it on Shapeways. Sorry, who was it who was asking for that? Oh, fogging hyper and how to rid it. So it's been covered a couple of times by different people. Shaving foam is one way. I do washing up liquid. Rub it in until you can see you've got a thin sheen. That tends to help quite well. The problem is, as soon as you touch it, as in if you touch the lens after you've done it, you start ruining that, and you start getting foggy in the patches you touched. But yes, that is certainly one way of doing things. Also, a lot of people swear by the Revision Sawfly. No, not Revision Sawfly wipes. The anti-fog wipes. I can't remember the name of them. A lot of people use those. Those are pretty good. Sorry, just going through. Yeah, Revision anti-fog swipes. Yes. Yep. As the OCD said. Sorry. Oh yeah, HPAing a bolt action, I can kind of understand as well because you can tend to hide your air tank in the bolt action rifle. I've seen people do that. That's fine. Basically, I have no problem with HPA if you can't see an external line. Um, then again, that's just my personal opinion. Others have different opinions. I like to collect and play for the realism aspects. Other people like to play because it's fun to shoot people and not hurt them. You can upgrade for cheap. So the Action Army Hop I actually managed to get off for free off someone. But other than that, the barrel and hop rubber I'm putting in it, I paid about 30 quid for, and they're pretty good barrels. Like, it's just about finding parts, and just doing your research. Archery, I can either put it on Shapeways, or if you drop me a message on my Facebook page, I can try and print you one and post it to you if you're UK based. Actually, that's something I've done this week. I've bought about 150 quid's worth of postage bags and boxes for shipping stuff. I'm never going to ship that much, but you know, that was the minimum order quantities. A metric flash hider would be awesome too, but the selector is most important. I did the other way around. Hang on. By metric, do you mean the kind of like shortish ones? In fact, I think it's in this cupboard. Is this the type you mean? Or do you mean the G1 style one, which I no longer have possession of? But yes. Sorry, I'm just quickly munching down my my Eclair. So, quick question: hop up bucking, and what does it do? I have one to hand. That I will get you on a barrel. Show you. I'm very distracted from doing these batteries. Here we have a barrel, and here is a hop up bucking on the back of the barrel. Now what a bucking does is provide resistance to the top of the BB as it's fired down the barrel. What that does is impart backspin on the BB, so that as it travels down the length of the barrel it's spinning backwards, and as it comes out it's still spinning backwards. And effectively it's, I'm trying to remember the name of it, it's the Magnus effect. So the spinning of the BB generates a differential in wind speed on the top and the bottom of the BB, which gives it lift. So it applies what we call hop up to the BB. So instead of the BB just coming out and then starting a parabolic fall towards the ground, it spins, generates lift, and if you have it set right, should go flat for a while and then slightly rise and drop at the end of your shot. Effectively, the long and short of it is hop up rubbers allow airsoft guns to shoot much further than the parabolic distance would be. So instead of the BB going about 15 metres out the end of the barrel, it goes about 50, 60, 70 metres. Yeah, that's a very quick explanation. There are many other channels that go over what the hop up does in greater detail than that. Sorry, all these questions are getting. You guys are going so fast in this chat. How am I keeping up? The evening, played Reading the Mall. Oh, Mall was a great site. I love the Mall. Shame to see it go. Along with Combat South and UCAP Sandpit. All those are good sites. Yeah, I get the big benefit of HPA is because you are controlling a pressurized air, you can get very specific control over it. But It's just a bit immersion breaking to me. And then again, you can, with a bit of skill, get AEGs to be pretty consistent, and gas blowbacks can be made fairly consistent. But yeah, I get it. If you're really going for the as much performance as possible out of a platform, then HPA does offer some advantages. But it also makes you look like you have a hose pipe plugged into your gun. Yeah, I can get it up on Shapeways Archery. I just have to find it somewhere on my computer. Cool. Yeah, I can also get this designed up, so you can buy that 3D printed as well. I also have files to put to print a Imperial, so SLR flash hider onto standard 14mm threads. See you, Ollie. Good for you to drop in. You get different temperature buckings. I found low temperature ones the best. Yep. So different temperatures. Basically, it's talking about the shore hardness of the rubber. And basically, the harder they are, the heavier weights they can lift at colder temperatures and at higher speeds. In the UK, it tends to be fairly soft buckings because we're at fairly low power, but harder ones are better. Yeah, that is true. Some gas guns are really fussy, and that HPA in them might help, but hey ho. No, that is the Maple Leaf MR hop, and I think it's a 70-degree one. So it's basically the cheap and easy way of doing an R hop, which I've never tested out before, but it's going to get tested out as part of the SSG build. Yes, beach balls off dams and stuff, and you can see the Magnus effect. It's really quite cool. I can probably post a link later on the Facebook page to that. Sugru hops. I had one in my old FAL that was dressed up like an SLR. Served me really well. I didn't do it. I had someone else do it because he was a genius at doing them. I have a standard R hop patch in my SLR at the moment. That's really nice. But we're going a bit too much into detail. Performance and tip and HPA don't go together. The recoil is epic. Well, yeah, I'm hoping it'll be good results on the sniper, because if it is, that means I've spent £170 on it, and it's performing well. And it's better because it's a decent type bore and a very decent hop-up rubber. But we shall see. That I don't know. Right, anyway, let's get on with soldering this battery. I think I'm all caught up. Has anyone's question gone amiss? And if so, please send it again and I'll read it. Yes, Tom, we all know you're lazy and just like getting other people in other countries to do it for you. Archie, drop me a message on Facebook on to the English Kiwi page, and once it's up on Shapeways, I will message you and let you know when it's up. I'm actually doing quite a lot of 3D printing stuff. Also, speaking of Shapeways, I've had sales on there and I've still yet to be paid because they have like a minimum amount of profit before they'll give you money, and I didn't set the profit margins very high because I want people to be able to affordably buy stuff, which is a bit annoying, but hey ho, Shapeways is making money off of me. Good out. That's capitalism in action there. Yeah, Sugru, that's the thing. Sugru is quite a soft rubber, so it will wear out over time. A decent R-hop patch will last a lot longer. I think it's just a question of whether or not you want to faff around with having to cut your own R-hop patches and get them all set up perfectly. Where Sugrus you can do fairly quickly, as in the actual process of putting the Sugru into the hop window, and then you've got to wait the day or so for it to dry off. Oh, that's cool. Dropping R-hop patches are nice, but obviously different barrels have different window shapes, so presumably it's only guaranteed to work with certain barrel types, which is the trouble. Like this is the big thing with Airsoft, is compatibility and knowing if the part you're going to buy is going to, you know, work with the stuff that you've got. Well, Alan, that's the hope that we can get it. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I just seen Fulcrum. I've also got Sugru Hop DSG in the making, so let's see how long the patch lasts in that. Probably 2 mags. No, probably like half a game day, depending on how fast you do it. What is this hop up stuff? Yeah, sorry, Rusty. This is going down the rabbit hole a bit of of airsoft teching. So standard hops are just like a speed bump in the top of your barrel, and then what we're talking about here, these R hops and Sugru hops, what they do, and the MR hop is give you more concave shape. So it instead of it kind of like bumping the BB as it goes over it, it kind of hugs it more, and it gives, because it's hugging it, it gives it a more consistent spin each shot. So in theory, your shot-to-shot consistency will be much higher, so you can get tighter groups. Basically, the BB is more likely to go where you're pointing it with these other hops. Not saying that standard hops are bad, they're not. They're just, everyone is always hunting the best performance. So standard hops are more than adequate to start off with, and then if you want to go down the rabbit hole and try and get, you know, an extra meter or two of range, you can look at doing it. And if not, then you can keep running your standard hop rubber and not worry about it. Oh, Tom, are you trying to get people to jump on over to your channel from my video? Yeah, no, Tom does have a very good videos covering all sorts, including the what a hop up is, and a bit of discussion about the different types of hop ups you can have. So yeah, I highly recommend checking those out. And then this magical word DSG is something called dual sector gear. Basically, you have gears inside electric guns which pull piston back and release it to fire a shot. A DSG means that for every full rotation of the gear that pulls the piston back, it has 2 sets of teeth, so it'll pull it back twice. Hence the dual sector gear as opposed to a single sector gear in standard form. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, I have to admit, G&G Green is my standard go-to rubber. I always use it. I kind of wish they did a flat hop version of it, so you could just get a G&G Green with no mound. That would be really nice. I would. G&G, if you're listening, please do that. Also, G&G, if you're listening, please bring out the LE4. We're all wanting an LE4, please. And that's my plea for today done. Cool, there's still over 10 of you guys sitting here watching this. I can't believe this. Any of you guys watch anything new and interesting on TV? If you're nerdy like me, recommendation, it has just come out on Amazon Prime now for legal viewing in the UK. Star Trek Lower Decks, absolutely hilarious. I really enjoyed it. Would recommend. And that's my nerdy push done. Do you play any video games? I do. I wouldn't call myself an avid gamer, but I play games. I tend to play quite well. I would hesitate to say retro. They're not really retro. I just like my old school-ish games. And Red Dead at the moment. Right, 2 batteries down in an hour and a half. Cool, we're blazing through this. See, and this is why when I do tech work for people, I don't charge by the hour, because a lot of it is not as fast as it otherwise could be. Oh, Falcon, they haven't been making Freddy M4s, they've been making ARP9s and RK9s and other pistol caliber rifles, which is all well and good. And I know Tom from AATV is a massive fan of them, and he's trying to buy up every single one of them. Dean's Connect a world record, and we're only on the batteries at the moment, guys. What have I been playing recently? Oh, I got given PS4 Spider-Man and I got not Skyrim, Witcher 3 for Christmas. So I binge played through Spider-Man and started playing Witcher, and oh my god, that is one very, very detailed game. Like I got lost for 2 hours just, reading books. Saturday Night Strippers. Tom, you're in the wrong place. I believe that's Purple Helmet's channel for the Saturday Night Strippers. Also, who needs strippers when you have wire snips? Oh, don't worry, Alan. They've got you covered. They've got 9mm AKs as well, just for you. And in fact, let me pull it up for you, just so you can see. Oh, yes. Right, here we go. Is this going to load the image? Oh, there we go. This is what you want. Yes. How about these, Alan? These are perfect for you, mate. Absolutely perfect. So yeah, G&G, please stop making 9mm carbine things and get on with, the LE4 or some other cool historic rifles. Like the Type 64 is pretty cool. Right, now, where were we? Someone was just finished Misfits. I need to get into Misfits. I've been recommended it so many times. And then I just go back and rewatch Star Trek again and again. Oh, I've just seen, Kenny, you said HKs, and that brings up, just before I hand it over to Alice for a little bit, there were two things. Apparently CZ are buying out Colt. I have not heard of this. Has anyone got any info on that? That would be insane. And two, yes, France is replacing the FAMAS with a HK4 and 6, but I think they're only buying the upper receivers, and they're going to use standard M4 lower receivers that I think they already have in stock. Why they have so many of those in stock, I don't know, but hey ho, that's what they're going to do. Cool. What's going on? A bolt. Oh right, I thought you meant bolt action. I know the bolt one. Yeah, I really want a bolt rifle at some point. They'll probably break, but they just seem fun. I kind of want the MP5K from them. Maybe I should get the bolt MP5K. Why am I buying fake bullets? Because I've currently got two M249Bs sitting in my room, which are property of gunmen, which I'm trying to fix. And I was seeing how much it would be to buy some fake 7.62 rounds. Well, not fake, some old 7.62 rounds in belt form to put in them, just to add to the look. Oh no, Mark. See, I would have bought that, but I know Tom wants it, and Tom will do a review on it. So I'm going to leave that one to Tom to do. I know he definitely wants the G&G SSG one. It's what he started playing Airsoft for, really. See, I knew it, Tom. All of your I'm all about the realism is all just a an act for your channel. Realistically, when you're not filming, you're down the site in your Lycra and your Di 5. You're gonna have your SSG one there with about 5 cameras on them. You're making the most clickbaity content available. Oh dear. Enough of mocking that. I'd like a Bren 2. Oh, is that the updated as in the modern CZ Bren, not the, proper Bren, as in the accurate like machine gun in the Second World War / the L4, the workhorse of the British Army up until we got the lovely LSW, which everyone loved so much, and didn't give it stupid names and didn't give it to the new recruits of the section because they loved it so much and all wanted it. Speaking of the LSW, I love the fact that basically all the squaddies didn't want to use it, and they kept trying to give it away to the youngest person to use. Hence it being called the Crow Cannon. But when I was in cadets, it was the other way around. Everyone wanted to use the LSW on exercise because it was the only one that had full auto, so you could flick it into the fun bang switch and spray and pray. But yeah, anyway, that's enough for me saying I was a cadet because that means nothing in the real world. Yeah, let's put a bit more salt on that one. You want an AR-18? Isn't there a manufacturer that makes the the Taiwanese, was it the Taiwanese army version of the AR-18? And if you wanted a bullpup AR-18, you're set, mate. You can just pick up a an 85, and if you want a polymer AR-18, you just pick up a G36. More landmines. Well, that's interesting. Yes, these are Rusty. These are Deans. These are what are called mini tam. These are Deans, or you'll hear them referred to as T plugs. Yeah, they're more robust than Tamiya. They can carry a higher current, and they're just generally a better connector. And so there is an initiative called the T plug initiative, which is trying to get everyone to switch from mini tam to Deans, but I doubt that's going to happen anytime soon. But a nice little start. One of the things I did appreciate about the Evo is it's Deans as standard, which is good to see. Techno, I haven't had a chance to watch the America Cup racing yet. I need to catch up on that because that is some cool stuff and is really, really bleeding edge coolness. That might have to be a tomorrow evening watch. Ooh. Better. Thank you. I mean, an AR-18 would be really cool. I'd like to see an AR-18, but the issue is they're despite them having such success in terms of their internals being taken to make pretty much every kind of NATO ally partnered rifle, L85, G36, Type 85, basically loads of rifles have derived themselves from the AR-18. The AR-18 itself was not a very widely used rifle, so I doubt that there'll be anyone out there who's really going to make it, unfortunately, which is a bit of a bummer. Because you got to remember that. Well, actually, if AR-18, if there's any chance of us getting an AR-18 in Airsoft, what needs to happen is the American gun market needs to suddenly go, oh, we want AR-18s again, and for them to start producing loads of AR-18s, because then the Airsoft market will follow. As we've seen, for some reason they've got loads of pistol caliber carbines. In fact, the reason they have pistol caliber carbines is because ammo is expensive and pistol caliber ammo is cheap. So they all wanted pistol caliber carbines for that. Then we got them in Airsoft. Tom was saying to me the other day that I can't remember which company it is doing pistol braces for Airsoft. Completely not needed. It's a bit sad, really, but hey ho. Clean that tip again. Right, what? I missed some comments up here. Have I watched Witcher on Netflix? Yes, I have, and I quite enjoyed it, and hence why Alice got me the Witcher game to play, because I hadn't played it until then. Yeah, no, I enjoyed both the series, and I am enjoying the game. Oh, one of the other things, Tom and Mark from Thin Brown Line and I were discussing yesterday on content we could make in the near future, and one of the ideas Tom came up with was war movie watch party. We watch and discuss a war film, and then we have a watch along with it. So, if we were to do that, what sort of films would you guys like to see us talk about or watch? I mean, I personally want to watch Hot Shots Part 2 with everyone, because obviously that is the best and most accurate war film ever made, and has the acting powerhouse that is Charlie Sheen, but more importantly Rowan Atkinson. What more do you need? There we go. Tropic Thunder, of course. Rather annoyingly, even though I'm not monetized yet, if I was to be monetized, I won't make any money off one of my best performing videos, which is the M16 review, because I had to do it. I just couldn't. I could not put an M16, Vietnam era M16 video out without doing some kind of Vietnam War reference in it. So I did, at the very end, a 30-second video compilation of Alice using it, and I used the music from the opening of Tropic Thunder, so meant to be the opening of the film Tropic Thunder inside of Tropic Thunder to it, and it got bloody striked. It got copyright striked, which is rather annoying, because it's like a 20-minute video, and pretty much all of the content is mine, and then they go, and all that profit that I could get off of it, which would be about £3 probably, is going to the people who own the rights to that song, which I can't for the life of me remember off the top of my head. Ball of Confusion, that's it. Yeah, I've had a couple of things age restricted and locked out, so you had to have an account to view it because firearms. Um, and I just appealed them, and they have reversed the decision. So just yeah, reverse it. Oh, Waterloo. That is a good suggestion. That is a very good suggestion. It should be free use anyway. No, not necessarily. Um, and I mean, I did. I just did take like 30 seconds of their song, which is a bugger because it works really, really well. Um, and I mean, I spent ages trying to find music that sounded like Vietnam style or Vietnam War era music that was royalty free, and I just couldn't. And I just caved. And I was like, yeah, you know, we're going to use this because that's just like my favourite opening to a film. Oh, I think I can put it back in. We actually. Yeah, that's. Wait, some of them got. They rescinded, but a few weren't. Really? That'd be interesting if which ones weren't? Is there any kind of pattern of why they weren't rescinded? Because I always put in mind that it's like these are airsoft. These aren't. None of this is real firearms. None of the work that's been carried out in these videos can be translated to real firearms. And it's very unlikely that I would have real firearms in my videos because I live in the UK and we don't have access to real firearms, really. Well, yeah, that is true. I don't really care. I mean, I'm not in it for the money at all, and the likelihood of me getting monetized is slim. And so long as people enjoy the video and enjoy the reference, it's all good. Oh yeah, the M16 video did have an amazing cameo. Alice featured in it for 30 seconds at the end. I also had a bald dude wearing some clothes from not Apocalypse Now. Full Metal Jacket appear in it at the start. That was quite an interesting little opening. Which I'm not sure if many people got the reference, but it was Life on Mars. I don't know why I did it. I recently finished watching Life on Mars and Ashes to Ashes, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna just rip off the intro to Life on Mars for a bit. Yeah, for the most part, I agree with you on that, Fulcrum. You can't convert airsoft parts to be real unless you're really, really dedicated in America and you get someone to ship you out a G&G L85 body, strip it all down, and then take an AR-18, take it apart and fit it into the G&G, and then have an L85 that fires 5.56, which has actually happened. Yes, that was a fun intro that we managed to collab on without physically meeting because COVID. But yeah, I really enjoyed doing that. We should do more stupid intro videos like that, Tom. Have you seen Instant 597? No, I haven't. And am I going to get an Ares L85A3? Probably not, because I have quite a lot of L85s and I build my own A3s with my own kit. I'm curious to hear your opinions with Simon, not any purpose but curiosity. My opinions on Timer. Some of the stuff they're turning out at the moment is really good. Other than the poor performance of the DIY SSG build, which is in pieces, for the price I paid, the quality of the furniture is really good, and the trigger box in it is really good. With some minor upgrades, it's doing fairly well. I mean, I was getting consistent hits at 40 meters and 50 meters. Yeah, I think Simon seem to be doing some good work at the moment, and their M16 series that I've got is really nice, but the trigger has packed up on it, which I'm hoping is just a minor fix, which I was going to do today, but we're already at the 2-hour mark, so that's probably going to be a no-go. Yeah, so Simon, pretty decent in my opinion, and their AKs are bomb-proof. Oh yeah, I've not had one of their MP5s, but I've heard good things about their current build MP5s. So maybe I'll have to pick one up in a bit. I still have a G&G one that I need to get running. Right, I'm going to put that one in there. I'm happy too. Sorry, I've got Ashes to Ashes stuck in my head now. Oh, look at the little cute neutron battery. Oh, that's cool. Well, as in, which young girl? Because there was Molly, who was the main character's kid, and then that was the young version of the main character. Yeah, that's a bit weird. As it's solid, I did break the charging handle off because you have to slap it. Okay, yeah, that's pretty standard. A lot of Airsoft MP5s like to break the charging handles. Yeah, the new Platinum stuff seems pretty decent. Although I don't have anything bad to say about the internals in my E&L. Sorry, I thought I had a cat. The only issue I have with the E&L is the hop is okay. It's nothing outstanding, but everything else seems pretty decent. Yes, Simons are just seem to work and have pretty decent internals. Although their ETU, they've got their Platinum ETU series out, which is pretty cool. And no one has a clue on how to program them because they sound like they've got programming mode, but no one knows if that is true and how they work. I think Tom managed to get his to go to 16 round burst. So yeah. Sorry. One brand I cannot recommend is Spectre Arms. Yeah, I've heard a lot of negatives about Spectre Arms. The other interesting one I've heard, well, obviously a lot of people have issues with the internals. I know, at least in a character sense, because Negative Airsoft, when he does videos, he's doing it in character of grumpy Negative Airsoft Luke, as opposed to actual Luke. I know his character doesn't like them, but I also know that some retailers don't like them because they will do a run of guns for like a week and then they'll never make that gun again. So it's like really hard to keep track and get spares and stuff. Yeah, basically, yeah, I think Spectre have grown quite quickly, and what they've done is to keep up with demand, they've had to drop QC, which I think is something G&G has also had to do. They basically dropped their QC a bit because they're having to produce so many bloody ARP9s because everyone wants an ARP9 for some unknown reason. Oh, that's cool, making a recoil build. I was kind of half tempted to pick up one of the Spectre Arms G36s because they had EBB, so I'm assuming they're the Ares clone. Because my mate had an S&T G36, which I did a load of work on back in the day, pre-channel, back when I was at uni, and I quite liked that. And the recoil on it was, well, it was EBB, but the whole bolt and charging handle assembly cycle to it had a fairly decent kick to it. Nothing super impressive, but you know, better than nothing. Kind of half tempted to pick one of those up, but then again, there was probably going to be a pain in the arse with it. G&Gs are just so twangy. Yeah, it's the springs they use. They don't use they don't use non-linear springs, and they're quite twangy. You can fix that quite easily by just greasing the spring a bit and switching it out for a non-linear spring. To be fair, the Simon sniper rifle couldn't hit anything twice at 30 metres, let alone at 40. Now it can. I managed to do a fairly half decent group at 40 metres on mine the other day, which was nice. To be fair though, you can replace a hop unit for fairly cheap. I picked up one of the blue plastic ones off of AK2M4. Put it in a mate's AR for him, and it was actually mate's M60 416 for him, and it was doing really nicely actually. Yeah, that's a thing. The core, who made it? It wasn't it. Was it S&T? Was it S&T? No. Oh, that's going to bug me now. Oh, I'm going to have to look that up. Camera? My camera roll is interestingly filled with guns and cats at the moment. And wind turbines. I live a very exciting life. I don't know where those pictures went. Well, that's annoying. Yeah, I think it was an S&T. Must be. Yeah, had a really nice 416 full metal body. Really, really good. Not too expensive. Would recommend. Details on it were quite nice as well. But yeah, that was a bit of a side quest. Chuck's playing trying to get in. Yeah, actually, you're absolutely right. They are really, really good. I use them all the time. That's where I got the upgrade barrels that are going to be going in the sniper rifle from, and motors and everything. How long's the barrel in your FAL, and what weight BBs are you running? Because if it's less than 510, you really don't need a bore up kit. In fact, most of my guns are actually getting shorter barrels than them. So the SLR, despite being like a 550mm out barrel, only has a 450 inner barrel in it. .550 and 2.8. Okay, all right. Yeah, bore up might be worth it, but I'd say you're better off just getting short barrel. Yeah, absolutely, Tom, you're right. Even with the bore up kit, with that weight of BBs, was it a double eagle? I don't think it was. Oh, SRC. It was an SRC. SRC 416. Nice metal receiver. Full trades on it as well. Look really, really good. Yeah, it was quite a nice little rifle. .550 with it, 4.3s. Wow, you are going to be getting some massive negative dual creep on that, because 550 is so long for a standard type cylinder. But hey, if your consistency is fine, yeah, it's probably, yeah, it's probably just your BB is decelerating the barrel. Could be an air leak. Yeah, I've gone shorter in mine. So I run 455 in the SLR with a full standard cylinder, and I run 360s in it. And at 350, it'll reach out probably 80 meters. You two should kiss. Come on. Okay, you shrink some. No. What am I doing? Stop messing around and just solder these bloody connectors up. That's all you need to do. Oh, that's grim. There is no lack of cylinder volume because the Cyma cylinder is bigger than the standard APS2 cylinder, so you can fit you can actually fit the standard like well cylinder or the Airsoft Pro cylinder into the inside of the Cyma cylinder. So it's about 2 mm bigger diameter. But yes, I am going shorter. I'm going to be going for 450mm in a barrel. In the L96, or technically the L115 build I'm doing. And we shall see how much of a difference that makes to FPS, because at the moment we're hitting about 450 on, or 1.8 joules on the point fours. So we shall see how that goes. So in fact, it'll be quite interesting. This rifle at the moment is performing the same, well, has the same FPS output as Tom's DMR, and I don't think it's doing as well as his DMR. But part of me thinks I didn't do the hop sealing as well as I could have done. Nicotine and catacalling. Well, have fun, Alan. See you soon. 217.43 takes a little while, but outranges a lot of other guns at my local. Yeah, yeah. Once you find one weight, use it. It tends to be the heaviest you can use. I highly recommend going for these barrels, these 450mm barrels. As far as I can tell, the bore quality looks pretty good. It looks about the same as the Lambda 5 barrels I've got. We'll see how the performance goes. I haven't actually tested these, but I will feedback. These are the ZCI 602 barrels off of AK2M4. If he's selling them, I'm pretty happy to say I'm pretty happy, because I know he tends to sell parts that actually work. But we shall see. Yeah, I'm with you. The only reason I'm building this bolt action rifle at the moment is because Novorich has released an L96 build, and it's a British rifle. So, seeing as I am a fan of British rifles, I thought I would give it a go. I'll probably end up just selling on the rifle in a bit, but we shall see. I actually did quite enjoy running it for the time. I need to come up with a better method of running it, because I was running it with the Sterling as my backup, which is quite hard to do because the Sterling mag sticks you in the back when you try and carry it on your back. Yeah, the Lambdas are quite nice, but are they twice as nice as the ZCI, because they're about twice as expensive? Unless you can pick them up on sale, and then they're pretty decent. $90 meters on a 4.8. R-hop now though. 80 meters on a 4.3. So was that 80 meters on a 4.3 pre R-hop? Because So at the moment, with the upgrades I've done, it's still got about a 0.1 joule FPS variance. So works out about 10 FPS. It works out, what was it? It's a 7%. There's a 7% power variance on the rifle, and it's able to fairly consistently hit a man-sized target at about 65 meters, and 80 meters. It was going to be more harassy fire as opposed to direct hits. Also, didn't help that when I tested at 80 meters, I lent the rifle to the right, and the wind was blowing left to right across the range, which you will all see in the video that's coming out soonish. But yeah, it's not performing as well. But then again, I think that's down to the hot rubber in it being a bit pants. Okay, 2 more batteries and then we can get onto the rifles. I'm hoping this will be a sub 3 hour stream. Oh dear. You'll be surprised, that much difference in FPS won't affect the range that much. So you're doing 408 at the moment, doing 80 meter shots. So a 40 FPS increase won't give you another 20 meters. If you've got everything else tuned as much as possible, I think you'll see like 5 meter increase maybe. But I may be wrong. It'll be interesting. Let us know how it goes. AOS type ball. Yeah, I need to try some heavyweight BBs out. I might try putting the 4s in the SLR and see how it goes. Because God knows it could lift it. And hopefully, when my next pay packet comes in, I'm going to get some. Going to finally bite the bullet and buy some TacSense targets. So, what am I doing? Yeah. So when my next pay packet comes in, which is in a couple of weeks, I'm probably going to buy some TacSense targets so I can actually do some proper range testing. Because this week was an Amazon box with a paper target stuck on it and some oil drums. You know, because why not? Twist this barrel. Oh, so is that 1995 meters with holdover, or is that 1995 meters with flat aim? Because yeah, you might just be able to push 100 meters out. Yeah, some rifles really don't need all that much upgrading. Because really, if you've got a good air seal to start with in your cylinder and piston set, then all you really need to do is bother with the hop up. And provided your tightness of barrel doesn't really affect it all that much, it's more the consistency of the barrel. So provided you've got a decently made barrel and a decent air seal in your compression parts, your rifle should perform quite well with only modding the hop slightly. And you'll get most of the performance gain from flat hopping. You don't even need to do R hopping. Slight hold, although I was testing firing uphill. I've hit somebody in combat around 89 meters with pretty crap BBs at the time. Yeah, I think back when I was running the SLR about 420, I think I managed to get a 90 meter kill once or twice with it. But then again, the likelihood of, like, most airsoft engagements don't happen that far away. Most of them are going to be happening sub 50 meters. So really, it's so long as you've got consistency at the consistent grouping at most skirmishing ranges, then you should be fine. Is this my side job? No, I'm helping a mate out really. I enjoy doing tech work, and we've got bugger all else to do during lockdown. Although I am starting to pick up tech work at site, i.e., if people have a gun that goes down, I try and help fix it in that day. Yeah, NAE is a bit of an interesting one. So that's 01's site, which is a lot of big open range stuff in the woodlands. Yeah, but that's kind of a rare one unless you're local and you play there regularly. What delay are you on about? Yeah, if they do, a DMR would be nice to have at NAE because it's just such long ranges. Although I don't know what their FPS limits are. I think at one point they were running like 500 for DMRs and 500 for. I remember they used to run higher power limits for support weapons. I don't know. Like a lot of people say, it's a massive cheat fest, but then again, I've played Ground Zero before because I used to be based in Southampton, and admittedly, I didn't have a good time of it. But you got to remember that at the height of summer, most of that site is just thick rhododendron bushes, so the likelihood of you actually hitting someone is fairly slim through that stuff. It's it's a bit of a tough one because it seems like everyone comes away from it saying, "Oh, everyone was cheating," but were they, or was it just you're not hitting them, or the ranges at there tend to be quite a lot longer than standard airsoft sites, so it's like, were you actually even ranging them, or was it just the fact that what happens at NAE, everyone goes and gets absolutely pissed, so someone's hanging out their arse and just not realising they've been hit, there's a whole load of factors. I don't think everyone just goes to deliberately cheat. That'd be weird because then let's say most of the UK airsoft community is a massive cheat, which I don't think it is. I think everyone loves to try and find a way to say that their own everyone tries to justify their own performance and about, oh well, I didn't hit that guy because I did hit that guy, but he didn't take the hit. Whereas in fact, you probably didn't miss them. Did you enjoy the no full auto in the building video? You talk about the one where he's playing indoors and it's semi only and he's just spamming the trigger. I mean that's a nice build. It sounded nice, but yeah, that type of rate of fire in full auto, I don't see the point in it. But then again, I prefer realism, so I try and build my guns so that they're fairly equivalent in terms of rate of fire to the real steel counterpart. Hence why, despite the fact my SLR has a full auto setting, I don't use it, and it's locked out to semi because the real SLR is semi only. Yep, damn bro, okay. Admittedly, it does make me laugh watching that. I do enjoy a good funny video like that. Yeah, absolutely. On the flip side to that, Fulcrum, the scope cam's good for that, but at the same time, I don't think making loads of videos calling people out as cheaters on YouTube is exactly the best way forwards in that situation. I think it's better to just go, okay, I did hit them, that's good, I did that shot was good for me, but either they didn't feel it or something else meant that they didn't take it, as opposed to just being like, oh, they're definitely cheating, because you never know what's actually going on. Or you can always doctor the footage and the shot can go like way left or way right, and you could just put a hit marker on the player and say you definitely hit them because hit marker popped up, right? And that's definitely how it works. Not so tight. Come on. That's what she said. Wow, that's annoying. What I'll do is I'll heat shrink these and then just put a little bit of electrical tape over that one, because the heat shrink is not fitting particularly well and the camera is not focusing particularly well. Some sites actually do that. So not necessarily streaming the scope cams, but some marshals, some sites have ruled out that all marshals will be wearing cameras at all times, so they can, you know, if they catch someone cheating, that video can then be uploaded and shared with other local sites. Say, hey, this player is a cheat. Here's the proof. Don't we're not going to let him on. We'd recommend if you do, keep an eye on him, sort of thing. Which I think is actually a pretty useful thing to do. But then again, it's fairly rare that people are actually cheating. Yeah, I enjoy Alphonse because he doesn't take things too seriously. He's out having a good time, and he's making a joke of all, like, there's so many people out there using either COD hit markers or the Battlefield plus 100 points thing, and I think he's just riffing on that. Oh, what? As in, do the marshals get given a rig? Yeah. So in that case, it's the site owns a load of cameras, and every marshal will have like a GoPro on to capture and see what's going on. I mean, I guess it's more of kind of like a deterrent than it is an actual gets used all that often, because if you know that the marshals have got cameras and they're watching you cheat, it can't then just be your word against their word. It is, here is the footage of you not taking your hits. So it makes people a bit more conscious about, you know, actually taking their hits. Obviously, that way the sites will then have to make you sign, you know, waivers, so you're okay being filmed by the marshals. What's a marshal? A marshal is effectively a referee of the game. So there are basically two types of marshals. There are out of play marshals, so they will be standing there normally in high vis, watching the gameplay, and making sure everyone is playing fairly and following the rules. But also, a lot of what they do is try and balance the game as it's going along, especially in skirmish events. So in your kind of Sunday walk-on game, you'll have marshals there, and they'll be looking and making sure that both sides are having a good time and doing things right, and they'll be rebalancing the team, or, you know, calling in an airstrike and declaring one part out of play to one team to try and balance out the game. And then your second type of marshal is what's called a player marshal, which is what I do up at Gunman Tuddenham, which is you're playing the game and you're feeding info back to the non-player marshals or the game runner. So if for instance, if you hear a lot of your team grumbling about someone on the other team, like, oh, I don't think he's taking his hits, you'll kind of feed that back to the other marshal and be like, hey, I'm hearing people saying that they think this person's not playing well, and then they'll go check it out. Or you're there like, hey, we're really getting stomped here. We're trying to advance. We're not getting anywhere. Any chance that you could, you know, try and get these guys to fall back a bit and give us a chance. And the other thing you do is you try and get the team to do things. You're there like, hey, let's go do this. Hey, this isn't working, so why don't we go try doing this? And basically just there trying to make sure everyone has a good day. Oh yeah. I think it's less about them needing the cameras to prove the cheat to their own players, to their own management. I think it's more as a deterrent, and also more as part of the wider Airsoft site community, to be like, if they do find someone to be, you know, to be cheating quite a lot, that they've at least got footage and proof, so they can go to other sites like, hey, here is the proof that this dude is, you know, being a douche. We wouldn't recommend you letting them onto your site. I think it's just, I agree that you don't need them. I think it's a nice idea, but it does add complications to it. Right, what time is it? Oh, Oh, it's 11 o'clock. Oh. Okay, right, we'll finish this battery, and then I think it's only 4 rifles, so we should be fairly quick about this. So I'm actually pretty happy. We've been going 2.5 hours, and I've had riffs on the stream, and I haven't had a strike, which is good, because a couple of the previous live streams I've tried to do, I've been pulled by YouTube because, oh, you can't feature firearms. I wonder if it's because I'm doing this 3-screen arrangement, so you can see my lovely face, and my lovely hands, and the chat, although you can probably see the chat elsewhere. Actually, that's a question. What do you think of the layout at the moment for the live stream? Is it good, or would you prefer it just to be all table cam? Feedback is always appreciated and welcome. After all, this video is here for you guys to, your guys' benefit as opposed to me. 7.6 HV lipos. 7.6 lipos. What? I don't know. So sorry, I'm getting crossed over here. 7.6 voltage battery, I've not heard of. Lipos tend to be based on, well, lipo cells will give off a certain voltage when they're charged, which is 3.7, yeah, 3.7 volt nominal, which means per cell. So when you have 2 cells, you get 7.4 battery, and 3 cells 11.1, so on. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just doing maths in my head. So I think a 7.6 just means that it delivers more current and then won't drop as low in the voltage charge, because effectively when you charge a 7.4 it goes up to about 8.4. It gains a volt. Yeah, 3.7 nominal, 40 charge, which is 8.4 or 12.6. So I'm assuming that it's basically just electrical cut-off that cuts off the voltage at 7.6 instead of 7.4, but will dump more current. I don't know. I'd have to do some research into that. Master mod parts I don't know about. I haven't looked at. I'll have to look at some point. I don't like people wearing cameras. They seem to escalate the situation to get negative reaction on camera. I would disagree with you on that. I think a large majority of people put on a camera, put on a GoPro, turn it on and completely forget about it. Obviously, there are certain personalities out there that won't go to play Airsoft because they want to make good footage to get lots of views and money. But, 7.6 are graphene based. Okay. That's cool. But those aren't lipos, so those will be some new type of battery tech, which is cool. Not them. I'll have to do some research into that. I know there is constantly new battery tech coming out. But yeah, coming back to the camera thing, I think a vast majority of people are only there because they film because, hey, why not? If I get something cool, I could post it to YouTube and could become the next famous YouTuber. I mean, I started out using cameras because I've always enjoyed making videos. I have done from a fairly young age. Not those types of videos though. Before anyone jumps on it. And I had a GoPro because I used to. I had a drone which I had it on, and then I started playing airsoft, so I stuck up my helmet and actually first the time I bolted it to the side of my rifle, looking forward to that, was just crap. But then yeah, and then it's just kind of gone from there, and I've enjoyed experimenting with camera tech to the point where I've made those which look really stupid but give you half decent view. And I think a vast majority of people just have them on because hey, everyone else has a camera, well, I should get one. It's what you do, right? Yeah, most people won't escalate the situation, but some people will because they're like, oh yeah, this is going to get me famous. This is going to be my in to being the next big airsoft YouTuber. Which, let's face it, most of us are not going to be. Right. I'm using my phone, so can't see large anyway. Okay, that's pretty useful to know. Just agree to the way I look at wearing cameras is that someone is going to act like a tosser on camera, then that's their choice. I don't make them act like it. They choose to act like that. Then again, unfortunately, I've not experienced negative reactions aside from ignoring a shot or two. Yeah, I get that sometimes people will come over to an incident if they're wearing a camera because they think they can get some footage out of it, but for the most part, no. Admittedly, this brings up the whole thing with are, legally speaking, are airsoft gameplay allowed because all the footage you're using is of random people who haven't expressly given you permission to use their footage? Yeah, actually, that's an interesting one. Yeah. Thing is, if you want beef, go to the butcher's. Yeah, this is true. Thing is, I film all my gameplay. Well, I film a lot of my gameplay, but I don't particularly enjoy watching much gameplay. Why do I film it? Most of the time, I film it because it means I can watch it back and see how I did and figure out where I'm going wrong. Hence why most of my gameplay on my channel is an analysis style thing, and I don't edit it down for cool shots. I go, this is the game we're doing, this is how it went, and this is where I went wrong, this is what I did right, sort of thing. And I get that you can actually make some very interesting and entertaining videos, but obviously you have to take some kind of creative license. Like, for instance, Matt the Musketeer got called out on it, where he was slicing and dicing, and he got caught by someone else who had a camera on, going into a building, getting shot by them, and he basically went, oh no, we're same team, hit doesn't count, friendly fire, and kept playing, but he cut it out to make it look really good. Everyone wants to see me use bloody wire strippers. I don't like using wire strippers. I'm not going to do it, guys. I refuse. Straight up refuse. But yeah, what videos am I particularly proud of? I think the one I've most been proud of is my AK review, which arguably is my worst review video. Actually, no, I'd probably say my 417 video is my worst video I've made. The one I'm probably most proud of is probably the AK one, purely because I got a couple of messages from big name channels, namely AATV and Purple Helmet, going, that's really good. And then one of them even went, oh, can I host it on my channel, because I like it. And I think that's still the proudest I've been of anything I've done on this channel, which goes to show how crap my channel is. Other than that, I'm quite proud of the first part of the L96, the L115 build video. I spent a lot of time on that, just redoing and redoing it, because I thought that this would be a fairly big video, and it does happen to be the biggest, the fastest, the most highly watched in the space of time it's been out video on my channel. But then again, I think that's because I'm kind of playing into the Novorich hype. Yeah, I do. I self-depreciate quite a lot, but the reason I do it is if I do it, it puts everyone else at ease, and also means that no one else can self-depreciate. No one else can depreciate me because I've already done it. Um, no, genuinely, I think if I've put a video out on my channel, I'm pretty proud of that video because I've actually spent time to release it. Um, and admittedly, I've not been hitting the target of. I was aiming to try and do videos once a week on this channel, and I've not been doing that recently. Not at all. Oh yeah, I think short clips are quite good. In fact, I do have one hidden on the channel. Oh, that's far too much stripped off. Oh well, the heat shrink will cover that. I do have one that's hidden on the channel that I made as a joke. So one of the days up at Tuddenham, I was playing a hostage. So I wasn't actually playing. I was marshalling, and in the marshal role, I was a hostage that needed to be rescued. And one of the other marshals on the rescuing team borrowed my camera gear and wore it, and he managed to. Well, he came to rescue me and then proceeded to shoot me first by accident, thinking I was an enemy player, despite me wearing nice pink high vis, and then come in, go to escort me, went to go around the corner, and then got a tri-shot shotgun to the balls. So that's a crack team video. That's only about a minute long. I might put that up, and I proper hand it up with suspenseful music and everything like all the big channels do. Yeah, this is the thing. So I will endeavour. I do have a nice spreadsheet of the costs involved in building the rifle. Now, admittedly, the Action Army hop chamber that I'm going to be putting in the DIY SSG build, I got given by the same guy that gave me the Well L96, but I'm going to look and find the price of it at the moment at retail, and I'll use that cost in the costings, so you know how much has been spent. And this is the thing, like a lot of channels are. This is why I started my channel, because a lot of channels that I watched or had looked at, I felt like they answered some of the questions I wanted when watching like a review, but not all of it. So I thought, well, why don't I just do it? Because I'm going to buy the rifle anyway. And like that's why I really appreciate Tom's channel, because he spends a lot of time going into depth and actually properly going over everything and giving empirical evidence, as opposed to just, oh, I think this was doing about 50 meters, whereas he actually measures it out. And shows the measurements, and so you can actually see what's going on. Oh my god, I butchered that one. And yeah, I completely agree. That's why I did the DIY SSG project, because there's loads of people going, and I'm guilty of it. I've said before that yeah, we can probably build an SSG for cheaper than Novrich. Oh, this could be dangerous. My cat, both my cats are now in here, and one of them likes to come up here and sniff. So hopefully she won't. Otherwise, she could, sniff the hot soldering iron, which is not exactly the smartest thing to do if you're a cat. How was that not set? Right. Oh my god. Give me a minute here, guys. This is the last one of these I'm doing, and I've managed to just turn this into a total pixie. There we go. Good question. This is probably leaded. Yeah, old RS leaded solder. Because we all love leaded solder. It's much better than unleaded. Hence why I'm not using any flux. It's also probably why I can't think straight. And what's the thing? Okay. I reckon you could do a £100 sniper build to do 100 metres. I think it would do as challenge vid. Well, VSR are about 60. Yeah, so 60 quid. VSR, do the easy seal mods with Teflon tape and silicone grease, and then new hop chamber, barrel and rubber. You're looking, that'd be close. Probably be 120. I think you could do it for. Can I help you? Hang on. What's going on here? What's going on here? My cats have decided that my feet are the best things to play with at the moment. Right. Where were we? Oh, it's 11:15. Nice. So, question for you guys. Now that I've finished soldering some batteries, do I move on to the rifles now, or do we pick this up at some other point? Maybe tomorrow, maybe Tuesday. What do you guys think? Because I now have all of these lovely batteries. Might not need a new hop unit, yeah. Cheap barrel. Yeah, cheap barrel, probably replacement hop rubber to maple leaf. Give the barrel a good clean. In fact, you probably use a stock one. Clean and polish it. Yeah, stock barrel, clean, polish it. Do your free mods to get the seal up. Stabilise the inner barrel. You can probably get it going out pretty far. Yeah, unleaded can work. I just don't have any. Right, so those are all done. So yeah, we'll do another time to do the rifles, and I've got other bits and pieces to be getting on with. So if you guys have any other questions tonight, or anything you want to have a look at, anything you want me to talk about quickly before we go off air, speak now or forever hold your peace. Oh good, the cat's gone. That's neat. Right, well, I will jump back to... Oh no, I'll leave the chat up. I don't actually have a setting with to switch cameras around. Rusty, who are you asking? Whose name is whose? If it's me you're asking about, I'm Ben the English Kiwi. If it's Fulcrum, I have no idea. But yes. Well, let's turn the soldering iron off. Cool name. Yeah, cheers, thanks. I've had it since birth, thank you. Night, guys. Yes, Archie, I will sort you out. I'll get one sorted. Currently have a load of bayonets that I'm making, but I'll probably be able to sneak it in the next few weeks. Right then. Well, seems like we're all winding down and people are starting to leave the channel. Thank you all very much for joining me, and I will do another one of these very soon so we can actually do the gun parts of it and some other parts. But until then, everyone, stay safe, and I will see you all soon.